The Ministry of Agriculture and Industry is imposing a temporary ban with immediate effect on all poultry meat products, processed internal organs of poultry raised, slaughtered or processed in Canada. This is according to a news release issued late Friday. Authorities in Canada notified the World Animal Health Organization that there has been confirmation of 2 outbreaks of the highly pathogenic avian influenza H5 strain or bird flu on November 30th and confirmation on December 1st. According to the APHD, 1 outbreak occurred in Chilliwack, British Columbia on a broiler breeder farm and the other in Abbotsford, British Columbia on a meat turkey farm. It was also reported that this event applied to the entire country and an epidemiological investigation has started in response to the outbreak. However, the sources of the outbreaks have not yet been identified. Currently, the control measures that have been implemented include the controlled movement of poultry in the country and destroying of affected flocks. The issue of rodents in this country is a matter that Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says needs addressing. While speaking at the handing over ceremony of the newly refurbished Clear Valley Health Clinic, Dr. Gonsalves says the relevant authorities are not dealing with the rat issue as they should. He adds that in the upcoming budget, he will be announcing plans to get the problem under control.
And we have monies, additional monies in the upcoming budget to deal with rodent control. Public Health has been dealing with it, but we need to do more than we have been doing, Permanent Secretary, but I have to give you the resources to do it, which is what I'm doing in the current budget. I'm giving you what we are doing with the various stages. I don't want to go through every single one, but I'm giving you the central matters as we proceed.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Gonsalves is advising persons to eat sensibly, noting that this can prevent them from being diagnosed with a number of non-communicable diseases. According to the PM, it is important to have an individual sense of responsibility when it comes to one's health.
Like you who are here, if I backslide in with a sweet mouth, say, come ready, backsliding, no, steady course. Because you could backslide, you know, it's not only born again Christians could backslide, you know, you could backslide with your eating. And you do some basic exercises. Don't take up a lot of your time. You eat properly, you can save you losing your foot through diabetes. We have too many amputations in this country.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says that his government will be addressing the number of growing amputations here in SVG.
Discussed it this morning with the Cuban ambassador. It had been started just before Sesmaki left office and Clayton had taken it up. And we have to follow through. When I was in Cuba the last time I discussed it, the Cubans, through their biotechnology research, got a particular medication can put in the ulcer, what we call the sore foot, to help to heal it, inject it inside of there. And we will buy that medication. I told the ambassador we need the Cubans to come down, one or two of the doctors to help us. And we'll find the money to buy the medication. And let we advance that rapidly into the early new year so we can begin to save some people losing their foot.
And one of this country's biggest health challenges is said to be the increased number of persons suffering from chronic non-communicable diseases. That's according to Minister of Health Clayton Bergen, who also addressed the recent handing over of the refurbished Clear Valley Health Center.
As indeed they are in many countries around the world. So we need to make sure and make huge efforts here in this country to tackle non-communicable diseases. And of course, this requires more than just a clinic, but a fundamental change in the behavior of everyone. And I here refer to what and how we eat, the role exercise plays in our daily lives, as well as how we respond to what the health professionals offer by way of public information. The one thing which I can promise you is that while we may not yet have everything we need within the national health sector, the government is doing everything possible to use what we have wisely, efficiently, and also to maximum effect in an attempt to deliver quality and efficient healthcare services to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Men here are being urged to learn more about food and nutrition and to move away from the stigma that this knowledge is mainly for females. Head of the Adult and Continuing Education Unit, Francis Clark Palmer, says when men equip themselves with this knowledge and skills, they are often placed in much more advanced posts when taking up jobs at restaurants and on cruise liners.
Instead of trying to just wash dishes on the ship, come and learn these things so that you will be in a better position. You will breathe less chemicals in the kitchen because you'll be smelling the lovely food that I was smelling when I came in here. Instead of the chemicals, and then you have to retire out early because you're ill. We need to be going into other things like these, like music. You see what I'm saying? Like electricals, like these other things. So when you go on the ship, you'll get better work.